Character arcs over an entire series. My name is Gina. I'm an author, editor, publishing professional. I help you make your writing better. I really love that this person called this out. So I often use like Tony Stark as an example of like the hook mirrors the resolution. And so I use like Iron Man's full story arc over the entire like Endgame saga, in which he starts off like posing as Jesus Christ in front of his weapons of death. And at the end of it, he is the guy who makes the sacrifice play and saves everyone. But this person very rightly pointed out that in the first movie, he doesn't go through that entire arc. And this is one of the things that is really difficult about plotting and planning an entire series that a lot of people do not take into account when they're like, I want to write a 7-book series, and they like don't think about these arcs. But in the first Iron Man movie, we have again Tony posing in front of his weapons, but he's taking a lot of credit for this, even though he's not really the one running the company. He's the playboy, he's the one gambling and drinking and like hanging out and like being famous and being the face of the company. He's nicknamed the Merchant of Death, but he believes that his weapons are saving the world and all of this stuff. That's the opening theme of the movie. And then at the end of the movie, he comes out and says, I am Iron Man. So he is taking responsibility for where his weapons have been, what they have been doing. He's taken control of his company. He's taking control of his name, of his legacy, of his identity. He is no longer letting Obadiah run the show behind the scenes. He is no longer out here pretending and grandstanding for people, but he's going to take accountability. And he's going to show that, like, look, I have made a thing that can protect rather than just harm. Then the difficult thing, once you had this character who has had this growth and who has had this change, is you now have to take that opening image and who he was at the beginning and apply it to this whole other set of stakes and this whole other story. Some writers do this better than others. This is why some series feel more satisfying and feel more cohesive than others. That's hard to do. This isn't easy. This is why sometimes a series will peter out. And I have people in my comments all the time. They're like, oh, the last book in a series is always stupid. I don't agree with that. I don't think the word always is the right one to use there. But this is why sometimes a series might not be as satisfying, because the writer isn't able to take those opening stakes and that theme that is stated at the beginning and drag it through a much larger set of stakes and make it apply in a much broader way.